Whenever you get a paper book, it will, or like a full book. What's that?
Yeah, no, I always ask for them, get it, and then I get them somehow in the trash can in the back of my car. Can you watch the first channel?
No, you're doing it. No, neither. I appreciate it.
It should be.
I can hear.
I just hear where mics in here. Bless you.
No, we were just all of us and
You just had the mic until they get talking up there.
they got this. Yeah, should we go? They're both on mic.
Yeah, that's my overhand. You want to get America's game going on up there.
What about the one in Ukraine? I agree. Hey, Ron.
I do. You're not getting videos. Long trip. That was the best one.
Yeah, actually, USB's already started.
Yeah.
I still gotta read that comment. That is really smart. I don't know.
15, he was doing great when he was good at like because for 8 days I was sleeping in the recliner right next to him. And you know, it's never totally dark. Good Harold
Dominating?
inside linebacker, just walking down. Was it still you're gonna find it like that.
Not bad. 77, 1.4. Everything goes from that all that house sheltered. Yeah, that's true. They just realize everyone's tactic techniques about it. Yeah, I did see that. I got both seasons. Sometimes clicking on everything, but it's not. I'm going to see if you guys
Welcome to Coach Heupel's post-game press conference. Coach will make an opening statement, and then we will go into questions. Raise your hand, and I will call it. Coach?
Hey, appreciate our fans showing up early. Ball work was awesome. Great start to the football game. Played well early in both phases and special teams, and then obviously third quarter, end of the second quarter, there were some things that we didn't operate as efficiently as we needed to. Got to be better than that as we continue to go, but again, finish strong. Love the effort. We got to be a little bit smarter in some of the unique things that transpired during the course of the ball game for sure. So open it up.
Start with Adam in the front.
Josh, what do you think it does for the confidence of the offense that they experience and success, especially in that first half?
Yeah, the first half starting fast, being efficient, blocking well, big runs. Joe obviously starts the game with a huge play off of his read key, and then we're efficient in the pass game too. So I also said, in the locker room later tonight, like it's a fine line, right? And so it's again a reminder for the competitive edge that you got to have and continue to keep during the course of a ball game too.
I think Joe started something like 14 or 16, and then kind of missed about 10 in a row. How much of that was him? How much of that was receivers, taking something?
A couple of them are him. There was a couple of deep balls that were a little bit off. Wide receivers being in sync on some of their route patterns too in the middle of the field. So it's a combination of all those things in the middle that didn't let us operate as efficiently as we needed it to be.
What do you have to do to avoid that kind of lull on offense next week?
Yeah, you got to block well up front. You got to give the quarterback time. You got to go win one-on-ones. Quarterback's got to be accurate with the ball. And I know that sounds redundant a little bit, but at the end of the day, that's what we got to do. So the efficiency in the run game in the middle part of the game too is a part of it. All of us got to play together.
Ben and Rob.
Josh, what was the feeling doing well, and what did you have over the course of this week, responding from not being able to play last week to this week?
Gaines been the same guy on the practice field, been a good leader in the locker room, competitive, willing to do whatever to help the team. When he has the ball in his hands, he's done a good job of reading it, delivering blocks. Made a backdoor cut tonight as flow over the top happens. Been really efficient in what he's done. So gonna need him as we continue to go too.
Coach, you guys played a ton of guys early on defense, especially.
Yeah.
Was that the plan, and you have that many people that are pushing to get into the 2 deep?
It was the plan. I told you guys last week, I don't remember, or this past week, the flow of the football game a week ago, the way it transpired, we had, planned on rotating more than we did. That can be on coaches, the situation, whatever. Listen, you're going to be physical football games as you go. You're going to continue to need to play, a lot of guys, and guys that have the hot hand at whatever position, will be the guys there in the critical moments as the game goes on. But anticipate, again, playing more guys than we did a week ago.
Britt and Mike.
Coach, you said this week about guys putting a play behind them, a good play or a bad play behind them.
Yeah.
How did you do with that today? Was any of that lull compounding plays where they didn't put a play behind them? Or how do you think you handled that this week compared to last?
I think the lull was a combination of efficiency, effectiveness, and, what we're doing, structural, a little bit of change from them, us countering that a little bit better in our targets, in particular in the run game. I felt like a little bit it affected one play to the next in a little bit of that lull, but I also thought they were able to reset and come back and make some plays. So.
Josh, after 4 games with Joe, what are the things that you know you're going to get out of him each game, and what are those things that you're still a bit unsure of during the game? Yeah,
I want him to continue to make plays. He's going to have to use his feet. You saw it tonight in the run game as we go. In our drop back pass game, he's going to have to, work the pocket, climb the pocket, escape, make plays with his feet, extend, make plays with his arm. That'll be critical as we continue to go. Need him to take great care of the football, and there's still a level of efficiency that we can get to in our passing game. And I'm saying that's Joe, it's our wideouts, it's our tight ends, it's all that together that we can take another jump.
Patrick.
How good was it to see Caleb Webb step up, step in for Brew, make a
Good to see Caleb Webb make a play. Chad's got some playing time. 2 young guys that got to continue to grow. At some point, just like tonight, you inevitably need those guys, and so it was good to see them, out there and handle the situation well. Caleb Webb, obviously, the big touchdown catch too. So that was awesome to see for him.
Can you just update where you are with Cooper?
Yeah, we'll see next week. End of the day, he didn't feel like he was ready for this one, so hopefully we'll have him back.
Can you assess how the line did in his absence again?
Some efficiency, in particular early in the run game, later in the football game too. The pocket was clean for the most part early, and then it got in the middle part of the game a little bit muddy right there, so we can be better.
Eric, then Austin.
No, it's early, but a couple guys got banged up. Some didn't come back in the football game. Do you have any statuses on those?
Yeah, we had multiple guys. I feel like we should have most of those guys back here next week. I'll know more here, tomorrow as you come back in the building. So.
Josh, obviously a lot was made of the missed tackles at Florida last weekend. What did you think of the tackling effort today?
Yeah, for the most part good. There were still a couple opportunities where we overran things, just our target playing inside out on some things. But I thought, defensively, line of scrimmage, applying pressure to the quarterback, tackling for the most part, besides the lull in the third quarter, all pretty solid.
Patrick.
Coach, a couple of special teams plays. You had the block punt, and Cam tries to go pick it up. What was that teaching moment like for him? And then the fake punt, did you guys kind of expect that?
Yeah, it's a teaching moment that we don't want to have. We go through a lot of scenarios and situations, and obviously a young guy just made a mistake, and hate that for him. He's playing with great effort. He's continuing to grow. Believe he's going to be a really good player for us. So, but hate that it changed the momentum in that first quarter. You look at where the ball is going to be. I think it's 14-0 at that point. Got a chance to push it to 21-0 there early in the first quarter. And, there's just a couple of unique things that transpire that change the way the game's played, and you can't do that as a football team. And so we got to continue to grow in that way. There was a second part to your question, maybe.
The fake punt, did you guys kind of sense that out? You guys made the play?
Well, they've been aggressive on special teams throughout his history there over the last couple of years, and that's been on the kickoff, but also felt like in that situation, the score of the game, potentially. We didn't have our base defense out there, but those guys on our punt return team did a really good job of playing that out.
Brent and West.
The zone read stuff with Joe, was that just more available this week? Was that something you guys pushed a little bit more for him this week? And in part two, did you notice any difference out of him mechanically after he tweaked, kind of banged up his knee a little bit there?
No, I don't think that was the issue in the pass game. Sometimes you keep reads on some of the edge reads. Sometimes you don't, based on the structure and how teams are playing it. We've had that in. He'll be a part of our quarterback run game, as we continue to go.
I guess one way or the other, after you lose the first game of the season, you probably learn a little bit more about your guys those next few days, that next week. What'd you learn about your guys the past 7 days?
Yeah, you don't want to have to learn about them that way. But I I think we learned a lot about our football team in the second half of last week's game too. And I say that resilient, tough, competitive, willing to go out and compete. They did that today too. They had a really good week of practice. They came back, you could tell it hurt, and they came back and practiced well too. So this group's been pretty consistent in that. I expect that again as we continue to go.
Anything else? All right. Thank you. We'll have players shortly. Joe Milton, Dylan Sampson, Amari Thomas, Elijah Herring, and Caleb Webb.
Y'all have a great night.
Thank you. You want to try to stay with us? Thank you.
I have a paper in my life.
One more thing about the Sampson.
Can you get into a page right there?
That's our second one.
Thank you.
That's right. The goal this year.
And the bye-bye.
And they played band with 22 touchdowns, just like all the others.
That's high. Yeah, it doesn't sound that much. That's high page.
Yeah.
Yeah, just throw them off there. Oh, there's some on my feet. My bad. There's some on my feet, but you're good. That one. For sure. Yeah. All right, we'll start player media availability here with Joe Milton and Amari Thomas. Please raise your hand. I'll call on you for questions. David, we'll start with you.
Joe, you said during the offseason you slimmed down. You said you wanted to be faster in case you had a run like the Pitt game a couple years ago.
Yeah, absolutely.
Did you feel faster on this run?
I did. That tire kind of blew out at 20, but I had to pick up the, sometimes we could ride on a spare tire, so it was good. It was good.
Perfect.
Joe, when did you find out that
had done the longest rushing touchdown for a quarterback in Vols history, and what was your reaction when you found out?
I mean, you just, I just found out. I mean, sure, man, it's a blessing, you know, but looking forward for the next one.
Brent?
Joe, how important was it for you guys offensively to maybe not score on the first play? I'm sure that wasn't the plan, but how important was it for you guys to get out of the gates fast and get kind of settled in and you create all the tempo?
I mean, that's been our motto since the season started. You know, that's always been our motto since Coach Heupel got here. Just, you know, you want to start fast so you can understand the flow of the game and understand the tempo that you guys can bring and what you guys can do and execute and how can you execute. So I feel like that's been the motto since Coach Heupel got here, that he kind of led into towards us. So, you know, we always had that same energy to start fast and, you know, get things going so we can find out the mojo of the team.
Ben?
Joe, can you walk us through that awkward hit you took there towards the end of the first half, and did that bother you any kind of going into the third quarter?
Nah, I'm pretty good. You know, you get banged up in football, but one of the guys had my leg, the other guys tackled me. I mean, that's part of football, but body-wise, I feel great. It did at first, but you know, when I got up and I moved my leg, I was fine.
Caleb, and then we'll go to Adam.
Joe, the TV broadcast said you had watched Cam Newton highlights. Is that true? And then what do you want to emulate from his game into yours?
Man, I was just got done talking about that. I watch his highlights, you know, pretty much every 2 days. Also, that was one of the tests that my coach, Coach Mitch, you know, brought upon me this week. Was just go home and just go watch some guys run the ball a little bit. So on that run that I had, the long one, I was about to pull one of his moves and just jump from the 5, but in my head, I just heard Coach Hype say, "Don't do it." So I didn't do it. So, but it's great, you know, just seeing other guys operate, see how they operate, and you know, starting to implement it to your game.
Amari, how do you guys enjoy success of this win and not be satisfied? How do you balance those two?
We really just come in. We understand that winning is hard, no matter who you play. So when you get a win, it's always good to get a win. You got to celebrate your win as a team. But at the end of the day, you got to know that we already flipped the page. We on to the next game already. So it's just, you can't get satisfied. You can't be complacent. And you just really got to be able to come in ready to work every day to get better. So we'll celebrate this win as a team. We'll be happy for it, but it's time to flip the page already.
Go Patrick, Mike, and then Reese.
Joe, with Dylan Sampson, he obviously probably would have been disappointed not to play last week. For him to bounce back and kind of stay the same and have a big game today, what does that say about him?
I mean, it says a lot. You know, he's mature for his age. You know, he's probably only, 19? You know, it's just being mature for your age. Like, he's the type of guy that can give me energy on the sideline or Friday or Thursday, wherever day it is. He's the type of guy that can give you energy no matter what, no matter how young he is. He's part of the leadership counselor group, so that shows the maturity in him and what his parents and his family did for him to, you know, help him grow up to become a man early.
Mike?
Joe, what are the things through 4 games you feel like you're doing best in the passing game, and what are those things that are still out there for establishing consistency that avoids those balls?
You know, the main goal is to give your all for Tennessee. You know, I give my all for Tennessee no matter what game it is. And, you know, just the whole purpose of connecting in the pass game, you know, just being able to connect. I feel like there's still more out there for us to do, but that's why we practice every day. And, you know, we go back and watch film and learn from it and understand what we're doing as an offense and how can we help it and how can we connect and stay on the same page.
Reese?
Big O, I saw you with your cousin after the game. Do your cousins normally come to the game, and what does it mean that they were there to support you?
It means a lot. Their cousin that was at the game, actually, they usually don't come. They stay in Georgia. So they usually don't come to a lot of games, because they be having stuff to do as well. But it was good just to be able to see them, see my little cousin, man. You know, I don't really get to see him that much, but to see him getting big and stuff, it's good. And it's just happy just be able to see my family, honestly.
We'll go Brent, Wes, and then Austin.
Joe, obviously you got off to a great start. How do you avoid, how does the offense avoid that lull that occurred? I think you went 1 for 9 or 1 for 10. How do you avoid that? And Amari, for you guys, how do you avoid a letdown? Because you guys obviously didn't play in the third quarter the way you played in the first half.
I feel like it starts with not being complacent. You know, I always have this analogy. You know, you give another man, you take another man's heart, and you know, you play around with him, and you look at it, and now he has a new heart. He's gonna breathe. So as an offense, you have to understand, no matter what, just keep your foot on their throat and finish it. You got to finish. You got to cut off the air supply.
As far as defense, I really feel like, you know, like Joe said, you know, we come in, that's what we preached the whole time. We were saying, like, step on their necks, keep your foot there, and I feel like we lit up off of that. I feel like it has to continue to be no drop-off. Like, it can't be any drop-off when we have subs and things like that. So it just allows us to go back, watch the film, and really just keep practicing.
Wes, and then Austin.
Question for both guys. Obviously, you never want to lose a game, but I guess you go different ways after you lose them sometimes. What did y'all learn about yourselves in this team this past week?
No matter what, you just got to stay together. I feel like through teams around the country, and there's a lot of things going on in the world. You know, we all have different mindsets. We all have different things we have interest in as a person. You know, not everybody. We all came from different families, but at the same time, it's about how bad do you really want it? How bad do you want to stay together? How bad that sweat and tears that you put in the summer? How bad do you really want it to pay off? That's how you look at it.
I really think that, honestly, I feel like the team just learning. I feel like we showed a lot of maturity, just the way we approached this week. Guys, you know, it wasn't too much talking, but you could tell how much guys really care about what we're going to do as a team and what we needed to do to get back out here and win this football game today. So I really feel like I really saw how dedicated our teammate is to winning and to being the best on the field, the best team on the field every Saturday.
Austin.
Big O, what's Tyler Barron doing really well for this football team right now? I think he's at 4 sacks through 4 games. Just continues to get pressure. And then what have you seen of a guy like David Hobbs, who's getting more and more run on the D-line?
It's what Tyler does off the field. Tyler's a leader. Tyler, he puts himself, he treats every day like a pro. He's always watching extra film. He's always coaching up guys when we have practice. So it's good just to see Tyler continuing to grow and always doing the things. And I'm always saying things carry on to the field, what you do off the field. So he's living right off the field, doing what he's supposed to do, and that's carrying on to the field for him. And he's playing great for us this season. And he's just going to continue to grow because of the way he approaches it. And as far as David Hobbs and other young guys, you know, they come in every day ready to work. They understand that they're not going to be perfect, and that's the best thing that they could probably do because nobody is perfect. But they come in trying to be better. They try to work hard. They ask questions. They ask Coach G questions. They ask players questions. So it's good, and it just shows, like I said, it shows how much they care about just being out there and being on the team and wanting to be able to get more reps.
Can I say something about the young guys? I just want to give a big shout out to the young guys. You know, offensive scout team and defensive scout team, you know, they approached the week this week. I made a little group chat for them. You know, just keep playing hard, you know, because never when your opportunities show up, you know, you don't want to be shy of that moment. I was that way my freshman year when I first had my opportunity, but since I was on the scout team and Don Brown told me to just go play football, you know, that's the same thing I told these scout team guys, just go play. You know, talk trash to them, you know, because the competitive composure is what our team needed, and you know they went hard this last week, and it led up in the show tonight. You know how hard guys fought. So shout out to the scout team and all the coaches that took control of that.
Al, did you have one?
Yeah, about how much does the effective run game impact the passing game?
I mean, it correlates with each other. You know, they kind of piggyback off each other. If you got a big run, everybody on the defense got to flow to that ball. And now that means the corners that came from outside in have to go inside out, and now they have to go cover and get back over top. So, yeah.
And you can have the last one.
Amari, how would you assess the running game after the Florida performance last week and also cleaning up the missed tackles?
Yeah, we came in. We just really focused on that. We pride ourselves on being a defense that we don't allow teams to run the ball on us. And last week, that was what happened. So, you know, we approached this week just getting back our edge. That's what we, as a D-line, as a defense, we just want to play with an edge. And I feel like when we come out and play with an edge, it's hard for teams to mess with us, honestly. Just everyone who we are, just the leadership we have on our team and different things like that. So just as far as being in the run game, you know, we pride ourselves on don't allowing teams to run the ball on us, and we took great effort in, like, we really focused on that this week. And as far as drills, extra film, like we made sure that like nobody is running the ball on us, and we want to just continue to grow in that because that's what we pride ourselves on as a defense.
Thanks, Joe. Thanks, Mark. We have another group coming right here.
Thank y'all.
Thank y'all. Scout team trash talk.
Yeah, man.
We should have mocked them up.
Gotta get them going, man. You need them. Everybody counts.
All right, we'll finish up players with, from your left to right, we have Elijah Herring, Dylan Sampson, and Caleb Webb. Please raise your hand for questions, and I'll call on you guys. Karthik, start with you.
Dylan, after not playing last week, what was your motivation and mindset with the touches you got today?
I mean, nothing really changed in the aspect of, I mean, you know, I wasn't frustrated. I understood the situation, how the game went, and, you know, it's just my competitive spirit. I understand, you know, we're deep in the running back room, and you know, my mindset is every time, you know, I never know how many touches I'm going to get. Like I said many times, I'm willing to do everything I need to do to help this team, and so my mindset is always just make the most of what I can with my touches, you know.
Ben and then Casey.
Caleb, you caught your first career touchdown tonight. Just what was that like, and what allowed you to have success on that play, and what was those kind of comments to you there?
I would just say like the hard work and preparation. I feel like I'm in the facility nonstop every week to prepare myself for like any moment that may come. So, you know, Brew was tired. I got a chance to come in and like my mindset as soon as I got in the game was just try to make a play and give him a reason to play me a little bit more. And Joe did a good job, like throughout camp, all through the season so far. Just like keeping me ready, like saying like there's gonna be a time we're gonna need you, and just execute because that's what you've been doing since you've been here.
Casey.
Elijah, I saw that you were the first one to greet your brother Caleb when he got the sack. I believe that's his first of the season, his first collegiate sack. How great was that moment just to be able to be there and celebrate with him?
I know that's something that we're going to remember forever. I know they're going to remember more than my first sack, but yeah, it was great to see. I mean, I was one of the first one to meet him, so, I mean, it was a dream come true.
Your favorite?
Patrick?
Yeah.
Caleb, what was the play on your touchdown look like? It was kind of a stutter and go, and how much did you guys work on that?
I mean, it's not something we rep often, but we'll go through it occasionally in practice just in case we need it. So it was kind of like a fake screen, and I just had to take the middle, like figure out where the safety was to turn my angle, and Joe waited and put the ball on me.
Did you feel like it would be open and you have a chance to make a play and get the end zone there?
As soon as we called it, my eyes got really big, actually.
Reese and then Caleb.
Caleb, after you scored the touchdown, you had a handshake with everybody. Is that kind of a thing that you guys have, that when you score your first touchdown, you handshake everybody, or what was the story behind that?
I would just say, like, me personally, I have a handshake with, like, basically everybody on offense. So once, like, they may make a play or get in the end zone, I'm, like, one of the first people to try to run up to them and do the handshake. I think it looked pretty cool, and it also shows like the bond and connection we have within our locker room, especially on the offensive side.
Caleb?
Dylan, what do you think makes you so effective with the ball in your hands and finding the end zone?
I think it's just, like, I mean, the will to compete, you know, it's the difference between hard working and competing, and I think it's just the intention I take to, you know, the mindset. When I have the ball in my hand, I want to be the best person. Like, I want to be a playmaker, you know, and that comes along with preparation and hard work end of the week, but, man, it's just something different that your mindset has to click on Saturdays. It just is a whole nother level of competitiveness, and I don't want to be tackled, not by the first person, the second person. I want to score, you know, and, you know, sometimes that might be my fault because I have to understand that every play isn't a home run play, but, man, you know, it's just the eagerness to get the ball when they call the play that I know that could hit, you know what I'm saying? I have trust in my O-line, receivers blocking, man. We all collectively do this thing, and it's just, you know, a great thing to be a part of.
Noah?
Dylan, you talked about that room being deep. Just after not playing last week, did you lean on any of those guys, Amari or Jalen, this week, and did they kind of help you through that at all?
Yeah, definitely. They gave me words. I mean, I was in a good mental mindset, but that's what they're there for. They gave me words, wisdom. But I took that next practice. I did nothing different. I came in the facility. I was talking at practice because it wasn't personal, and I know that. It's just my competitive spirit. You know what I mean? It was nothing personal about that. So my mindset didn't change. I don't feel like they disrespected me in any kind of way. And like I said before, I love being on this team with my brothers in this running back room. It's the best room in the nation.
We'll go David, Ben, and then Patrick.
Elijah, when you have a week like last week, you lose and defense didn't tackle well, the offense didn't execute well. How long, now that this game is over, how long was this past week?
Man, it felt like a minute. It felt like we didn't touch the win in a couple games, but you just gotta keep going. Next game mentality, you can't let that affect you coming up to the next opponent. So you just gotta keep your mind on them and just be ready to go.
Elijah, Coach BJ talked recently about if your eyes are in the right place, then you're going to have success. Just how has that improved for your overall game the last couple of years?
I'm most definitely trying to keep my eyes on my keys because he be speaking the right stuff. I keep my eyes on my keys. They're going to take you right to the ball. So I just got to keep doing that, keep developing.
And how do you feel like the group bounced back, tackling, playing against the run today?
Most definitely. We got that competitive edge back, so we was most definitely trying to stroke somebody.
Patrick?
Dylan and Caleb, you guys were both in the vicinity on the fake punt that you guys stopped, right? Who made the play?
I think.
Get a hand on him?
I think we both did. Did you get?
I hit
I
him
know I was in front of him, but he was big. I saw the dude motion, and then I heard them screaming fake. Yeah, and I turned around. I saw 270. He's running at me. I was like, oh my god. I don't know who made the play, but I know I hit him. That was crazy.
Did you play linebacker at all growing up? I mean, did you have to go back to? Do you have any defensive background to go back to?
I played DB for a little bit. Both my brothers, they were DBs, so they inspired me to play football. I never wanted to play DB. Reggie Bush made me want to play football for real. But I watched them growing up, play a little DB in middle school, high school. So just be an athlete. That's all it is, though. Be an athlete. DB.
We'll finish with Austin.
When you got a guy that big coming at you, do you wish you had the cage for the cheetah?
What are you talking about? Man, that's my favorite animal. I used to watch Wildcats when I was little. I don't know if y'all Wildcats, man. I just love when they put the cheetah suit on. I just resonated with it. Yeah.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, everybody. That's it for tonight.
Appreciate y'all.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.